Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, Malawi, Madagascar, Tanzania. I hope you're doing very well after such a sporting night that I cannot believe myself. My name is NAMHLA MATANDABUZO, and I'm not alone. I'm with Babu MANDLA, DLAMINI.
Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, Madagascar. Good afternoon, Tanzania. Good afternoon, Kenya. We are coming live to you from our Midrand studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. We have a bumper of a show today. As we said earlier on, Tuesdays, it's sports business days. We will have our guest in studio, and we're going to give you it now with the top headlines. My name is DLAMINI. Over to you with the headlines.
The most, I don't even know how to explain this. Djokovic doing it again, you know, grabbing that title and making it his own. Like, you more or less have to engrave his name before the actual tournament starts.
I did say it yesterday. I said, with time you mature, which means Djokovic has definitely matured like a good wine. So he's doing well. His 52nd championship. So it doesn't get better than that with him. Moving on to ladies tennis. Simona Halep claims Rome title after Corona Pliskova retired injured. For me, I always ask this. You know, in tennis, maybe this will help us with our guest sometime to say we get maybe Tennis South Africa to come and help us with this question. The question that I always have, when a player gets injured in tennis, is to remember it's just two people playing, you get injured on the 6th ball served to you.
Yeah.
Do I deserve to win the entire thing, or how does it work with tennis?
I think, you know what, this is what I always say. Every other federation is governed by its own statutes. So what happens in tennis might not necessarily happen in golf, and what happens in golf might not necessarily happen in rugby or basketball. So let's just take it as it is. We are not judges of this thing. We're just here to give people their news, and let's not get into politics.
Okay. Moving on to EPL now, into sporting codes. There were games that took place last night. Wolves lost 3-1 to Manchester City, and Aston Villa beat Sheffield United. And into Italy, AC Milan came back into winning ways in the new season by beating Bologna 2-0. Now, in the PSL promotional playoffs, we got it again. It is confirmed Black Leopards are back in the PSL. Obviously, they did not go down, but they were on the verge of going down. They are back in the PSL. Good news for Limpopo.
It is. You know, we almost want to have a club, all clubs coming from each, you know, from each province, and unfortunately you get provinces that have got more clubs. But I'm actually happy that we are moving into the right direction. The statuses are being bought in different, you know, provinces and stuff like that. I wish we could have almost in all the 9 provinces we get, you know, a club, so that people can be staunch supporters of their own. You know.
The status buying, it's a topic for another day. But maybe on a Wednesday, on a sports development day, we can touch into the status buying from different clubs, because for me, it doesn't make sense, but it's business at the end of the day. Moving on to Naturena. What's happening in Naturena?
Oh yes. And 2 of my favorite men get to be appointed as assistants to Gavin Hunt. When they say the hunt is over, it is literally over now. Arthur Zwane and Dylan Shepherd are going to be assistants to Gavin, something that I actually have been calling for. It's nice to have a local coach with his own assistants that are also local. I mean, Arthur Zwane has been involved in development for years, you know, and I'm actually happy that he gets to be now in the top of the team. You know.
Very exciting indeed. Another ex-professional footballer is given an opportunity to play in a very important role in terms of becoming the number 2 of the man in charge at Kaizer Chiefs. Now, at SAFA, what is happening at SAFA? South African Football Association.
You know what? Let's get onto that immediately after the break. Let's go on a commercial break, and then we'll come back and discuss what's happening in the Football Association, which I think is something that most people are looking forward to have people that have been on the outside in the inside type of way, back in the inside. So we go on a commercial break, and right after that we will have the SAFA news for you and then introduce our guest that's coming through to the studio.
Hello. The fourth industrial technology era has forcefully changed how every profession has been working for its clients. The world has become smaller than what we used to think. Imagine the ease of talking to a person who is in Australia, China, or Germany while you are in South Africa, as if you're just next door. The ease that globalization and the fourth industrial technology have brought to humanity entail doing business anywhere in the world as long as you have the purpose and the means. It is our expertise as MB Chabangu Incorporated to advise clients immigrating to South Africa on various permits and on opportunities for travelers who intend to sojourn in South Africa for a longer period of time.
Ayé náà ti kéré ju èyí tí a rò lọ. Nítorí náà, ìmọ̀ wa ní ìsìlọ̀ àti òfin àgbáyé ṣe wá ní ọ́fíìsì àkókò lórí àwọn ìṣòwò ilé àti ìgbaniláyé láti gba ìwé ìrìnnà fún iṣẹ́ okòwò.
Ho MB Chabangu Incorporated, reba eleji di notary le basebedisi le di office tsa rena kwa Pretoria, Johannesburg le Bloemfontein. MB Chabangu Incorporated e humanela ga bonolo go bareki ba rena. Go humana tlhagiso leseding ka botlalo re kgopela le re leletše mogala go 012 341 4187 goba le re ngwalele lengwalo tsebile go admin@chabangu.co.za. MB Chabangu Incorporated, mo mathata a humanago tharollo.
Tech Talk brought to you by Tamani Technologies and Systems. Tamani Technologies and Systems takes leadership in fourth industrial revolution. The whole world is facing a transformation. The revolution will be developed into the following stages: digitization, cyber security, Internet of Things, managed services, document management, and business applications. We provide business transformation and ICT solutions with presence in 13 African countries and 2 European countries. We are your leading partner in integrated platform providers, innovation leaders, standalone products, and innovation pace setters. Tamani Technologies and Systems, delivering value across continents.
Welcome back to this bumper show this afternoon. I don't know whether the show is short, NAMHLA, today, but we're moving along very well. Coming back with the PSL transfers this afternoon. Finally, Orlando Pirates, they have confirmed that Thulani Hlatshwayo is their man, and the Namibian international Hoto has joined Orlando Pirates.
Oh, you know what? All the best to all the clubs and all the signings that they are up to at the moment. But like I said, I am not making any comments on the first 2 or 3 games. I'm just going to remain mum until we go on to the 4th game.
No,
so
but Hlatshwayo's story has been torturing us for 2 months now. That he's been coming, he's been going, he's not been coming, he's been going.
Depends on who you're talking to. Next.
Yes. Okay, moving on. Baroka FC, they've secured the services of the 23-year-old wonder boy Kubeka. The boy, I've watched some of his games last season. Is a child to be looked at. 23-year-old, I think he has a bright future. Good signing for Baroka FC.
My biggest frustration is to say a 23-year-old is young. How do you quantify that? Because the 23-year-old is not young when we look at how the other countries are advanced at that age. So you worry me when you say he's young and he's 23.
No, remember, it's not his first debut. He's been with the PSL for now past 3 seasons, so he joined probably was 19 from the MDC teams, into it, growing into it. Hence, I'm saying the future is bright because he is progressing. The challenge that we usually face with players, that's once they get the first season, they don't progress because they get stuck. So they just believe that they've arrived, so which means that now they can be like big celebrities in football. South African Football Association, before we went off to our break, our commercial break, I mentioned South African Football Association. They've brought in and strengthened their technical structure. What is going on at SAFA?
You know what? I always want people to experience or to do or to implement the things that they were doing. So it's a good thing that David Nyati and Lucas are actually into the technical team, because remember, they've lived in the sport, and they know exactly what is needed to uplift us. You must remember the technical committee covers a lot of groundwork. So for me, I'm actually happy they had brought in former players that have actually done the work before, you know, instead of just flogging a committee with people that have no idea of how the technicalities of the game work. So I'm happy with that. I'm hoping to see more and more people that are experienced in different fields to be pushed into those committees at SAFA.
But very interesting. I don't know whether it's my stupid observation or what. They've brought in defenders. David Nyati is a defender. Lucas Hadebe is a defender. Fabian McCarthy, he's a defender. Brian Baloyi, he's a defender. What's going on?
I honestly don't think this is about the positions that they played. I think it's about the contribution that they've made within their communities. Remember, Brian Baloyi has a foundation in Alex. Lucas is busy with football in Diepkloof. So I think they are bringing in people that are actually implementing or giving back to their communities, and they know exactly what they're doing.
So there's nothing that South African Football Association is trying to defend?
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. I would like to believe there's nothing to defend.
Okay, that's great. Another section in that, for me, very interesting, because I've interacted with Brian Baloyi a number of times. He studied marketing. Fabian McCarthy, he studied marketing. They have both of them been roped in to be part of the commercial aspect of SAFA, marketing. Good news for ex-professional footballers, as they've been always crying, we've been left out. Guys, you are not being left out now. Given an opportunity, I wish you all the best, and grab this opportunity and see what they've been complaining about and talking about, if they can implement it.
No, absolutely. I'm happy for all the guys that have been brought in. I happen to have worked with basically all of them. But I am really happy. I think they will give a very positive input in the committees that they've been put in. And knowing Bafana, you know, Sase Alex, you know. So I am really happy for the guys. I'm really happy, honestly. And before we go on a break, we've got an exciting guest today. He's done everything that you can think about in football. And, you know, he's very exciting. He's young, but he's driven. You'll hear from him. You know, he's done so much, and it's always nice to look up to people that are almost our age and they've done such great things, and they're still giving back into football. And as we go to our commercial break, we're gonna bring in our guest, Mr. Kabelo Bosilong, to come through to the studio and tell us why exactly he's here.
Hello. The fourth industrial technology era has forcefully changed how every profession has been working for its clients. The world has become smaller than what we used to. Hello. The fourth industrial technology era has forcefully changed how every profession has been working for its clients. The world has become smaller than what we used to think. Imagine the ease of talking to a person who is in Australia, China, or Germany while you are in South Africa, as if you're just next door. The ease that globalization and the fourth industrial technology have brought to humanity entail doing business anywhere in the world, as long as you have the peppos and the memes. It is our expertise as MB Chabangu Incorporated to advise clients immigrating to South Africa on various permits and on opportunities for travelers who intend to sojourn in South Africa for a longer period of time.
Ṣé wá rí pé ayé náà ti kéré ju èyí tí a rò lọ, nítorí náà ìmọ̀ wa ní ìsìlọ̀ àti òfin àgbáyé ṣe wá ní ọ́fíìsì àkókò lórí àwọn ìṣòwò ilé àti ìgbaniláyé láti gba ìwé ìrìnnà fún iṣẹ́ okòwò.
Go MB Chabangu Incorporated, reba eleji di notary le basebedisi le di office tsa rena kwa Pretoria, Johannesburg le Bloemfontein. MB Chabangu Incorporated e humanela ga bonolo go bareki ba rena. Go humana tlhagiso leseding ka botlalo re kgopela le re leletše mogala go 012 341 4187 goba le re ngwalele lengwalo tsebile go admin@chabangu.co.za. MB Chabangu Incorporated, mo mathata a humanago tharollo.
Tech Talk brought to you by Tamani Technologies and Systems. Tamani Technologies and Systems takes leadership in fourth industrial revolution. The whole world is facing a transformation. The revolution will be developed into the following stages: digitization, cyber security, Internet of Things, managed services, document management, and business applications. We provide business transformation and ICT solutions with presence in 13 African countries and 2 European countries. We are your leading partner in integrated platform providers, innovation leaders, standalone products, and innovation pace setters. Tamani Technologies and Systems, delivering value across continents.
Welcome back, Africa. We are now in our last segment of the show. Like we said to you, we have our guest in studio, Mr. Kabelo Posilong. He's with us, an experienced working in the sports industry, skilled in marketing management, football administration, event management, media relations, and sponsorship strategist. I would say strategies and stop there. Welcome, Kabelo.
Thank you very much.
How are you, my brother?
I'm very good, despite the circumstances. Yes.
How's been lockdown critting you?
Well, I think for all of us in the sporting industry, it hasn't been great, but obviously at the end of the day, we've got to understand the bigger picture.
The bigger picture.
The bigger picture.
That's great. Our feature today, every Tuesday we feature business, and we're trying to help Africans, not South Africans, Africans, in the ways and the challenges that are there in terms of raising sponsorship. Can you touch on us in terms of how to raise sponsorship, more especially for sporting codes that are usually not, privy in getting sponsorship?
That's a very good question and interesting question. I think from my experiences, a lot of sporting organizations always think money is the root to all, everything, to cure everything. And there's no foundations that have been laid before money can come into sporting organizations. So I think the key is for organizations to understand that, number one, this is a business. We're in the entertainment industry. We're there to develop and to entertain. So they need to understand what value it is that they are offering, because sponsors will not just come on board and give you money. You need to also be offering something for sponsors, and you need to offer something that's viable, that both those sporting organizations and the sponsors can derive value from. So I think that's the main key challenge, is many sporting organizations not understanding what it is that they are offering. What is it that you're selling? Because everybody is in the business of selling something. So what is it that you're selling, so that in that you understand what you're selling, so that you can then go sell that to potential sponsors, and you know which potential sponsors suit what it is that you're selling.
And also, when I went through your profile, it's not that brief as I requested, but I went through it and I saw that you also did club licensing. you know, which is something that is, I think, is very confusing because you say club licensing and you expect it to be at the league or at the association. Where exactly does it fall under?
I think before I get into the politics of where it falls under, I think in essence, club licensing is a tool to professionalize football.
Yeah.
It could be used in other sporting codes as well, but in football we use club licensing so that you can have a system that tracks progress of administration with clubs. So there's 5 pillars within club licensing. It's administration, development, youth football development, infrastructure, legal and finance. Now within all those pillars there's criteria that each of the clubs must attain so that they keep a license to play within a certain league. So I think it's in the administration of that system is where the strength of the system usually comes to play. You can see within UEFA, most of their leagues are running a great club licensing system, hence where they are right now. So I think with us, in terms of the African perspective, we're still in the infancy. We're getting to first understand and educate, and that's one of my roles as a CAF club licensing instructor, is to go across to each of the football associations to educate them in terms of the tool that is club licensing, so that when it is time to implement, then you can start seeing the value that club licensing is there for, and that is for clubs to be run optimally. And we know that, you know, days are gone where clubs can be run from the boot of a car. We need to become more professional because it is a business. There's a lot of money coming in to sports and football in particular. So there's a lot of expectations, and when sponsors, broadcasters put so much money into football, they also expect a certain level of professionalism. So at the end of the day, it's a holistic approach in terms of how then do we professionalize the game and make it a better product.
Kabelo, as a strategist, I would like you to try and assist our viewers and our football, you know, owners. Most countries, it's been confirmed that there is no game that is going to go back in full capacity at the stadiums. How can we assist them so that they are able to still attract people, their fans, to follow them and follow their games? What strategies that they can develop? Because we just said yesterday from Esther in Ghana, they announced that only 25% capacity will be allowed at the stadium.
With regards to that question, I don't think there's one blanket approach, because every country is unique and is different. In terms of South Africa, let me say, we were always complaining there's not enough fans at the stadium. Whereas with other countries, fans go to the stadium, and it's linked very much to also the broadcast product. So in South Africa, we have a very good broadcast product where fans would rather sit at home and watch the games on TV because the broadcast product is great. Whereas in other countries, they don't have a strong broadcast product, so they go to the matches to watch them live. So it's a case-by-case scenario. But because of COVID, things have obviously put a halt to a lot of sporting activities, and getting fans back will be different from each country. It's going to be difficult, obviously, in the South African context, whereas in Ghana, you know, it's easier. In Tanzania, I know they're already playing with fans at the stadium. So in each country, depending on the level of obviously how the outbreak, how many cases were involved, it's different. But I think overall, as a strategy for overcoming COVID, it's very difficult because a lot of leagues some leagues have still not commenced, and they don't have a plan as yet in terms of when they're going to commence. And obviously that is putting a lot of people under pressure, players, coaches, staff, people that derive income from football, myself included, you know. So it's putting a lot of strain and pressure on people that derive income from football. So the longer it doesn't get played, the longer then people, it's going to be more difficult to gain momentum as well, to get back into it. So it's very difficult, but I feel that with a proper plan, from the football associations, from the leagues, from the sponsors, and a collaborative effort, just like what happened with South Africa in terms of finishing the season. You saw how well executed it was, and that's the kind of collaboration we need in other places to get football rolling again.
Very good.
Okay. Well, KBS, thank you so much for coming through. But I think you are coming back again because there's lots more that we want to know about you or from you or about the entire, football. But thank you.
No, thank you
for
very
coming.
much.
Where do we find you?
I'm always on the move. So, I mean, obviously, I'm on your socials.
Yes.
Kabelo Busilong, you can look me up. I could give my number, but So I think on the socials, people can just look me up and then send me messages. I'm very open to communicating with people about football, about sports. So anything that people want to know, want further clarity, they can always reach out to me.
Well,
Okay. Thank you for joining us today. Tomorrow we've got a very exciting show, which is about development. So come through, sit down, take off your shoes, and let us feed you with information that you really, really need. From our team today, goodbye.
Hello. The fourth industrial technology era has forcefully changed how every profession has been working for its clients. The world has become smaller than what we used to think. Imagine the ease of talking to a person who is in Australia, China, or Germany while you are in South Africa, as if you're just next door. The ease that globalization and the fourth industrial technology have brought to humanity entail doing business anywhere in the world as long as you have the purpose and the means. It is our expertise as MB Chabangu Incorporated to advise clients immigrating to South Africa on various permits and on opportunities for travelers who intend to sojourn in South Africa for a longer period of time.
Ṣé wá rí pé ayé náà ti kéré ju èyí tí a rò lọ. Nítorí náà ìmọ̀ wa ní ìsìlọ̀ àti òfin àgbáyé ṣe wá ní ọ́fíìsì àkókò lórí àwọn ìṣòwò ilé àti ìgbaniláyé láti gba ìwé ìrìnnà fún iṣẹ́ okòwò.
Go MB Chabangu Incorporated, reba eleji di notary le basebedisi le di office tsa rena kwa Pretoria, Johannesburg le Bloemfontein. MB Chabangu Incorporated e humanega ga bonolo go bareki ba rena. Go humana tlhagiso leseding ka botlalo re kgopela le re le mogala go 012 341